Okay, what do we got here? Choo Choo Cup. So let's do a little something new here on Fridays. Maybe some Fridays I'm gonna try to force myself to actually appear. Where am I? What am I pointing to right now? Oh wait, here I've got the mouse. So I'm somewhere over here, aren't I? Yeah, I don't like to put myself on the videos because I think that's distracting and it takes up a lot of real estate. It's hard to remember. Like, wait a minute, am I covering up some part of the video the software that I should be showing right now? And I don't want to get into a thing where I'm like moving my head around just to be here, just focusing on the darn software. But anyway, so I'm going to try to pop on here and more regularly than I do and just give you guys some whatever sage-like advice. We'll see. I'll probably get kicked off the my old college alumni newsletter for this video because we're going to talk about art college today, whether or not you shouldn't do it, and we're gonna decide at the end whether or not I think it's a good idea. But somebody did email me about this recently, so here you go. Here's your video thoughts on that, and here we go. We've got. Pros. Okay, what are the pros of going to an art school? And I did go to an art school. I went to the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan. I had a really good experience with it, but at the same time, that was 22 years ago now. So I'm 40. I went in '96 was my freshman year there, and times were different, right? I'm sure I'm using a computer right now that's 100 times better than what I was on. When I went to college there, and but a lot of their selling point was like, we've got these machines that are made for 3D modeling and animation and stuff like that, and the boxes are, I don't know what they would say, like $30,000 or some crazy price that was out of reach for obviously a college age student, and so it was really. You really kind of had to go that route if you wanted to study something like 3D art, 3D animation, everything like that. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to work for, back then I wanted to work for anybody, but Lucasfilm or Pixar or something, And so anyway, the whole scenario is a lot different now. Pretty much anybody can get in at just the level you're probably already at if you're watching me on a computer. I'm sure your computer can do most of the stuff that you needed to do to kind of study on your own, self-train. But anyway, so let's move on here. Pros, right? Teachers and mentors. I guess that's not to be understated. I'm not even talking about the instruction that you get from your teachers at an art college. If you do go to a good one like the School of Visual Arts, you're going to be meeting professionals, people that actually work in the field. That's one of their big things at the school is that they tend to only hire people that are not full-time teachers. They want folks that are doing this as like a little side gig, because what better way to really train your students and give them a connection later on in life than somebody that's not just working at the school. So there's that. Your best teachers are going to become kind of your mentors, and they'll tell you when your stuff stinks too. That's a big part of it. Friends at an art school, that's going to be your first professional network. I still keep in touch with, via Facebook, a lot of guys that I went to school with. And, I guess if I was living up in New York now, I'm not. But if I was living up there, that's where a lot of them still are. I feel like I could easily reach out to any of them and be like, all right, listen, man, I need a job, It's a, tap into that. And obviously, if you studied hard in school, people are going to remember that. I'm sure folks remember me as a guy that was always in the computer lab. That I partied plenty, but I also worked a lot. I was, from Monday through Friday, I was in that lab. I was living there. If I could have had a hammock and just slept in the computer lab, I would have. And folks do remember that. All right, so there's the actual instruction. Okay, but now we're starting to get down into the pros that are. I ranked these really. The actual instruction. you can get it anywhere, right? I mean, it does. Again, I mean, it helps to be taught by these professionals or whatever. But that doesn't mean that the guy on my website or any other training website is going to give you any less of a good instruction. Yeah, you can't pause. I mean, you can't really raise your hand while you're watching a video tutorial and be like, oh, I'm stuck on this, or I don't know. But you can rewind those. I mean, right? And first off, I don't really remember in any of my college classes people like constantly raising their hands to be like, you kind of nudge the guy next to you, be like, what the hell's going on? All right, independence. Okay, yeah, there's that. A lot of you that are 18, if you're 18 or whatever, and you're thinking about going to an art college. I mean, that's a huge part of it. You want to get out of the house. You want to live somewhere different. You want to be in a different city. So that kind of can't be understated, although it also could be done without going to an art college too, or college in general. I mean, just freaking move, right? Then there's the opportunities. I probably should have ranked that above independence, but depending on where you go to school, I think the more metropolitan it is that you go, there's going to be more opportunities out there. And again, that ties back to the whole teacher, even your friend thing. You hear about stuff. So it's certainly in your later years, you hear about jobs and everything. And a good art school is going to try to bring around companies to try to get you hired, to help you get hired. But I do think that there's plenty of opportunities elsewhere too. The degree, okay, this actually I would say is probably the least valuable thing that you're gonna get from an art college. Sorry, I mean it. Okay, I've got a BFA in computer arts, but nobody has ever checked that or looked at that. I worked for 2 places after college. I've been self-employed with Cartoon Smart for like 14 years now. So obviously nobody's checking in on my degree here. It'd be me to check in on it. But even the 2 places I got hired even before I graduated college. So that wasn't when they were. That wasn't something they were checking for, because they knew that they were hiring me in my senior year. And then the place after that, it was just, they looked at my work and what I was doing. They didn't care. Nobody was going to go and call the school to be like, did this guy actually graduate? And by the way, I didn't actually walk. I mean, I graduated and everything, but I didn't walk. I thought it was silly to go do some ceremonial thing at an art school. Even though people did, I don't think anybody got like robes on or anything like that. Unironically, maybe ironically, they did put robes on, but that wasn't a thing, or caps, whatever. But I finally, I never picked up my diploma, and they had to mail it to me like 10 years later. They were like, "This has been sitting in our office for X amount of time. I guess you're not coming to get it." Like some stupid piece of paper. All right. Okay, the cons of art school. Here we go. And we've already talked about a lot of the price. I mean, the price is tremendous. It's insane. Is it $25,000 a year? Is it more than that? I mean, that's nuts. You're either gonna have to take out a loan, or your parents are gonna have to pay for it, right? But one way or another, it's a ton of money. You could be taking, let's say it's $100,000 or whatever. Think about that. You could. Well, when we talk about what the alternative is, I mean, you could take that same money and you could live off of it for a very long time, doing what you want art-wise, in pursuit of a job or whatever. I mean, let's put it this way: it's going to pay for your rent, it's going to pay for your food for a long time, But I know a guy. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. I got a guy that I know, a buddy. Called me up the other day. Can you help me move something? I was like, yeah, I can help you move something. He lives right around the corner from me. And I show up there, and it's like, he's got this hitch on the back of a truck and like 45 giant sheets of, it was like foundation wood for the floor or whatever. Each one of them weighed like 50 pounds, and we're taking each one of them back up to the house. I was like, dude, I thought I was moving like a bed. Like, this is this is 2 hours worth of work. After an hour and a half, I was like, I gotta go, dude. My kids are gonna be at the house. I'm expected for dinner. I just can't do this anymore. Anyway, he told me, so while we're moving all this stuff, he told me that he's got 4 student loans. The guy's the same age as me. He's 40 years old, right? He's got 4 student loans still out there that he owes on. And then think about that. Like, I was fortunate that my parents actually did pay for my school, and I don't have any loans on it. I also got a big scholarship too, but it still wasn't cheap. But anyway, it's just staggering to me that that many years later to still be paying for what you did for 4 years in your late teens and early 20s. All right, so anyway, art school is meant to milk you for 4 years. It's designed to milk you for 4 years. They're gonna put you in a path where you got 3 humanities credits in your first year, 3 whatever credits, stuff like that. I'm sure it's like 6. I don't know how they're all different. But the point is that they're going to want you to do reading. They're going to want you to do some sort of, stuff that is not art related, but it is just meant to keep you there, to put you on this kind of slow track where, after a while they can say, okay, well, we're going to give you your degree or whatever. But how much of it was actually really tailored for what you wanted to do, and that was the big thing that frustrated me. Certainly in my first 2 years, I was like, I just, I was like, I want to work for like Pixar, put me in front of a computer 24 hours a day, learning 3D stuff, and I'm good. I don't need to go to a life drawing class. I don't need to read science fiction novels. I did take a sci-fi class. It was really cool, but I didn't need to do that, So yeah, there's that. They're there to make money. Well, let's put it this way: everybody's there to make money. That's not, any school should be making money. I mean, I own a website that sells training. I'm here to make money, but I'm also here to cut through a lot of the BS and I guess in some sense train you as quick as possible too. I think that's important. You don't need to go slowly when you're training. All right, art school resumes are not as important as you think. They really are not. If I was hiring somebody, why would I care about your art school resume that you had a degree in whatever? All I care about is what you've done, what you're doing. If you seem self-motivated, and we're going to get into that in a little bit, but and how you can kind of prove that to somebody, or not prove it, but you can at least tip them off that you're self-motivated, even if you didn't go to college. But yeah, let's say somebody went to me like, I want to come work for you, Justin. I went to the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan. There's no way I'm going to call them up and be like, did this guy actually go to this school? Did he actually graduate? Because it doesn't matter. It's all in the past. I want to know what you're capable of doing, right? And there was plenty of people that I went to school with that they paid for it. They made it through, and they've got the same degree, but I know that they didn't work, 1/10 as hard as I did. So there's that. Distractions. I mean, this is going to be the case with any college. There's going to be parties. There's going to be, stuff on a Wednesday night that people are like, come on out to wherever. And yeah, it's, if you were just working alone in a basement, you're not going to have that same distraction. But these are also like I mean, this is kind of why you go to any school or college, to be distracted, to make friends, to whatever. It's just that it's you can also do that other places too. Grab a creative loafing and see what's going on. Okay, so here's a big one. If you are truly self-motivated, an art school will seem way too slow for you. And I did already talk about that up here a little bit. It's just that it's really true. I mean, but there's those of you out there that probably maybe even need that I guess that slow track. But I was not one of them. And like I said, I was looking for work during my senior year to basically just be like, I'll work, I'll make this work where I can do your job and I can still duck out during the day at times to go to finish off these classes or whatever. And yeah, maybe it meant going back to the job at like 6 o'clock at night to work another 3 hours because I wasn't there from in the morning time. Although if I remember right, a lot of my classes the senior year were in the evening. I think I worked it out that way where I could just do a 9-to-5 job at where I got hired. So anyway, yeah, it's just a slow track. All right, so our alt college. See what I did there? I took the R and I put an L in. So take a year or more to self-train. This is what I would do if I wasn't gonna go. If I was like 18, I wasn't gonna go to an art college. Wasn't gonna put that money into it. All right. If somehow you had a parent or something like that, or maybe even you inherited a bunch of money or something like that, and you thought, well, okay, I'm either gonna use this for an art school or I'm gonna do something different. So this is what I do. This would be the different. I would say take at least a year to work as hard as possible, self-training yourself, and it's going to take the right person. Some of you might not be able to do it. You might get distracted with playing video games or BS like that. And if you think that you're that type of a person, then don't do this. Don't even think about it. You can't cut it. If you're even thinking it might be a problem that, oh yeah, I can't just work on my own like that. Okay, yeah, you're right. You probably can't. But for the rest of you that think that this is doable, I'd seriously consider it. Let me go to the next one here. So I think to make this happen, first off, it's a combination of being self-motivated to train yourself, and then and by train yourself, I mean you do have to watch. You're gonna find a ton of training online. Okay, I mean you got to get your training from somewhere, but you just don't have to pay that much money for it, But then also you have to come up with some crazy goal. I mean, at least that's what I would do. I would try to go, if I was in my 20s again, I would try to get an Oscar for best animated short. I would try to get my short films into a film festival. Another one, I would try to get a million views on something that went viral or something like that. I would try to get President Trump to retweet something that I animated. Okay, I'm not a Trump guy. I'm not a fan of his at all. But you could do something that would catch his eye. You could do that. You could set that up as like a challenge goal for yourself. This I would say would almost be like maybe a year 2 thing, because you got to spend that time learning, at least some time learning, and then figure out, okay, let's do something wild. Let's mix it up. Let's spend another year doing something that is really going to get noticed, or intern somewhere. And so again, spend that year doing whatever, training as hard as you can, and building up something that you can show to the coolest company in town, right? Be like, listen, this is what I'm capable of doing, right? I'm self-motivated. The whole reason I'm here at age 19 or age 20 is because I thought art school was going to be too slow for me, and I'm willing to work for free, right? And worst case, you get rid of me after a week. It's okay. I can deal with that. Best case, I'm here for as long as you'll have me, and then at a certain point, you're going to realize that I'm valuable, and you're either going to pay me to stay, or I'm going to go look somewhere else. I mean, that's what it comes down to, and that's exactly what my cousin did. He went to I can't remember what online. He did do like a little online academy, some animation school online, and yeah, he paid a bit more than you'd pay at a site like mine, but. The real question is, did he get more value out of it? But eventually he was able to intern somewhere, and he did it for free. And then after a while, they realized that that's a dude that they should be paying, and he still works there. Okay, make a website to document everything. This is key, and don't rely on something like DeviantArt or not that I have a problem with that website, but it's I don't think it shows off any young artist's work as well as it could. Okay, I think you need to make a website of your own, make something that's unique. You don't have to learn programming. Just grab a WordPress template, WordPress theme, and use that. But really kind of like blog your way through it. So document. Just come up with a schedule where you're gonna go. Okay, like every Wednesday and Friday, I'm gonna write something on here about what I've been doing. And if I was looking to hire, somebody that, yeah, or just looking to hire somebody, let's say, that to me would weigh in way more than any sort of degree or anything like that. I'd want to see, how often they're getting on there and sketching something just for the heck of it, how often they're taking that sketch or whatever it is all the way to that completed state. Finishing it off, or animation wise, same thing, or whatever. Or are they blogging for 2 months about making an app and then actually releasing it? I'd want to see that. And then I would also say find any sort of critique group or mentor group that you can, or find a mentor. Anytime I read that, I go, think of Kylo Ren and the Force Awakens. You need a teacher, but you need a teacher. But it's maybe more specifically, you need a mentor, somebody that's gonna, and not your parents, not your friends, whatever. You need somebody that's a couple decades older. That's like, what, this is good or this is not that good, and that's important. Critique groups, if you can find a good one, a good positive one, and maybe make your own. Go search out 5-6 other artists that are like you, and or same age or skill level, whatever, and just do it on Facebook. Make a Facebook group or something like that, and just kind of get some feedback. What else I got here? Figure out. All right, so this is the other thing. All right, so let's suppose that you're living in your parents' basement. Maybe somehow you got the money to rent a place of your own. You're paying $400 a month or something like that to live with a few other people. But you're out. You're your own little capsule. You're living and breathing, your work, everything like that. I think that lends itself to figuring out how to become self-employed more than anything else. Okay. And maybe that too is your kind of end goal here, is that that you want to just make money on your own. Maybe you're going to try to sell apps. Maybe you're going to try to sell art, sell on Etsy, sell on whatever. Maybe you want to maybe once a year you come up with a crazy Kickstarter idea, and you try to get 20 grand for it and see that thing through. There's it's almost like because you have to, you'll figure out a way. Do you know what I'm saying? Or hey, I'm trying to think. It was on the tip of my brain. Anyway, this is fun, okay, being self-employed. If you can figure out how to do it. At times, it sucks too, because you're like, nobody's paying me. Nobody's definitely paying me on Friday. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting a big paycheck from the guy upstairs, but it is rewarding. It's nice to be able to kind of set your own hours, be your own boss. So this is a whole separate conversation probably, but I do think all this lends itself to that down the road. And that's not to say that again, it's not to say this should be your goal. I mean, it would be nice to if I could time travel, to go back and find a really cool company that was like up and coming, intern there, get a job there, really make that into something So anyway, I've talked for 24 minutes. That's a lot of time. So I think I gotta go on here. 25 minutes now. All right. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know. What do you, if you like this, how do you tell people? Do you hit the like button? Do you email me if you liked it? Yeah, don't tell anybody else. Just email me, because then I'll actually want to do more of them. And oh man, my coffee's almost cold. Check out the Choo Choo cup. Choo Choo. All right, that'll do it. How do I close it down?